China could potentially trigger the next big crypto rally after it injected the biggest amount of liquidity ever seen in a single day in Chinese history. This comes after China announced its zero virus policy, which means the economy will re-enter terms similar to the pre-pandemic. Off the back of this, we've also gotten major news relating to the legalization of crypto in Hong Kong, and also an increased open interest in crypto on the Asian side of the market. So it's looking like there's definitely something brewing in terms of China and crypto, and in today's show, I want to explain exactly why that may be the case, and then go into some of the Chinese projects that I'm looking at and tell you how to search for the Chinese alpha. Firstly, let's talk about China from a macroeconomic sense. The Chinese central bank has just injected $92 billion into the market on Friday. This is the most amount of capital they've ever injected into the economy in a single day. Now, $92 billion in one day, which currently stands at $95 billion per month. So you have the US Federal Reserve taking out $95 billion per month, but you have the Chinese Reserve injecting $92 billion into the market in just a single day. So in net terms, the amount of money going into these economies is now significantly more than it previously was, off the back of a more relaxed Chinese policy. They're trying to restart their economy after a tough few years, and this has resulted in a huge cash injection. So one of the major reasons why crypto has been rallying despite the US undergoing massive fiscal tightening is the fact that China reopening from its 3-year lockdown and injecting money into the economy is very similar to what the US was doing in 2020 in terms of quantitative easing. That easing took place 3 years ago. Now we're seeing 3 years later, China do a similar thing in terms of its monetary policy approach. Now, when you have this injection of liquidity and you also have positive price action in the crypto markets, and a lot of that being triggered by the Asian side, well, you do tend to see massive rallies in the native project that are most affected. And of course, some of these projects are the Chinese affiliated tokens, which have been pumping massively in recent times, but have also gotten the interest worldwide of investors as people start to speculate that maybe with both China QE and Hong Kong's legalization of crypto, that we are going to start to see some of these projects really thrive. And at the end of the video, I'm going to show you exactly how to hunt for Chinese altcoins, because I believe these could be some of the strongest gainers in the market. Now, the reopening of China doesn't just have effects on the Chinese economy in isolation, but it also could potentially have global ramifications. However, due to the nature of the economic rebound, we may see a scenario where US markets are less affected by this stimulus than they may have been previously under a different set of macroeconomic conditions. So we may see a lot of the rebound contained to Chinese equities assets, and of course, as a spillover effect, cryptocurrency. Now, another key driver behind the increase in a lot of Chinese crypto coins is the fact that Hong Kong just announced that it will officially make crypto purchasing, selling, and trading fully legal for all of its citizens. And we're seeing people, for this reason, expect a huge influx of capital from the East into cryptocurrency. And there is also a Hong Kong-based stablecoin, which is slated to be launching soon as well. But there is one major misconception with this headline that I'm seeing a lot of people make, and that is that Hong Kong is allowing access to retail traders to trade crypto. And although that may be true in the future, right now that's not the case, as crypto legalization is just affecting institutional clients. So this will now allow institutions to invest and trade crypto, but it doesn't mean every single citizen will be fully allowed to trade, buy, and sell cryptocurrency right away. But I think Hong Kong is on the right path going forward, and it could potentially be the writing on the wall for widespread legalization of crypto in Hong Kong. Now, it's important to note that this primarily affects Hong Kong and not mainland China. As it currently stands, China still bans crypto, and there's no change on that stance, and I highly doubt there will be any in the near future. But that ban, like Hong Kong, applies to private citizens, so Chinese institutions can still participate and invest in cryptocurrency. And the reason why the Chinese altcoins have been performing very strongly is because of this. We could still see major institutional capital flowing into cryptocurrencies on the Chinese side. And with the Hong Kong legalization, that just adds another piece to the puzzle of access to cryptocurrencies in the East. It's an interesting thought experiment to consider the potential ramifications that a China unbanning of crypto from a retail perspective would have on the market. And in my opinion, if we ever see the headline, China unbans crypto, that would be the catalyst for a major crypto rally. But I don't think that is going to happen happen anytime soon, but nonetheless, it is an interesting thought experiment considering the US has recently started to clamp down on crypto regulation. And this is already starting to drive a lot of innovation offshore, so maybe the Asian governments will start to consider ways to get a slice of that pie. And although that might not be China allowing retail trading, it might lead to more lax legislation relating the institutional trading and investing of crypto. The US's approach has been condemned in recent weeks, including by myself, because I do believe the US government was offered on a silver platter the potential to have the US dollar undisputably dominant for decades to come. However, the banning of many stablecoins in the US has put pressure on this innovation, as other countries may look to capitalize on the gap now left in the market. Driving innovation offshore is never something that you want to do, and I think the US has to be quite careful here, because opportunistic nations, for example the UAE and Abu Dhabi, have started to massively back crypto and Web3 startups, like we can see with Abu Dhabi's $2 billion initiative here, to take advantage of a lot of the talent that is now going to leave the US on the back of overzealous regulation. So as 𝗪𝗻𝗆 says here, it would be really ironic if crypto started trading denominated in CNY again, courtesy of overregulating the US market. Imagine a new stablecoin issued by some firm in Hong Kong gets regulated, audited, captures market, and suddenly the US government gets very worried it shot itself in the foot. Now this may not happen, but I think it's very interesting to consider that opportunistic nations may use this as an excuse to eat into the US dollar's global dominance. Now there's been some more news coming out of China before we get into how to actually play this narrative. The first one is that the biggest bank in Southeast Asia just reported an 80% increase in Bitcoin purchases by institutional clients in 2022, despite the recent market dip. So there's been a general growing interest in investing in cryptocurrencies amongst the Southeast Asian countries. Also, the Hong Kong government just announced that it has successfully sold 800 million Hong Kong dollars in tokenized green bonds. They're working on the tokenization of assets, which I think is just another step forward for blockchain adoption worldwide. So let's summarize what we've gone through. China has started to kickstart its economy with more stimulus. We've seen Hong Kong legalizing crypto trading for institutional clients. We've also seen increased rates of adoption amongst Southeast Asian countries. And overall, it's painting the picture that Asia definitely could be the leader of the next crypto rally. So in order to capture that potential upside, we have to be positioning ourselves in the strongest projects which benefit from this narrative. And one of the narratives that I'm enjoying trading is the Chinese coin narrative. Now, of course, the fundamentals of many of these projects may be dubious, but for opportunistic traders, it could provide opportunities to capitalize during periods of bullish price momentum. Now, I must say, these coins won't outperform if Bitcoin goes down. Just like the other strong narratives in the market, they may exhibit relative strength during times of bullish momentum, but if prices overall drop, then even the strongest narratives are going to drop as well. They may not drop as much due to the demand side pressure that comes in and acts as a buy wall, but they'll still drop if Bitcoin exhibits bearish price action. So the way you trade these coins is positioning yourself in them if the broader market price action is looking bullish. When we're in a bull trend, we want to long more than we short, and when we're in a downtrend, we want to short more than we long. Trading really can be broken down into those simplistic terms, and there's no need to overcomplicate it. So let's have a look at how you can find Chinese alpha, because if there continues to be an influx of liquidity from the Asian side, then of course these Asian projects are going to outperform a lot of other projects in the market. And recently, this has certainly been the case. So I created a Chinese watch list of coins that have either Chinese origins or heavy Chinese backing that I'm looking at from a trading perspective to take advantage of price action. Now, you can screenshot the screen right now, so you have this, and what I recommend is replicating a trading list on your own trading view, which has all of the Chinese coins at once, so you can chart setups for these coins to make sure that you don't miss out on entry opportunities. And I will be covering some of these coins throughout the week on my show, so make sure you hit that post notification bell so you don't miss a video. Remember, I stream on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays at 7 p.m. EST, and also during other times on weekends. So you have to start building your watch list of Chinese coins. And Andrew Kang, the co-founder of Mechanism Capital, who is very involved in Asian markets, has also outlined his list of tokens that you can look at. And he put all their charts on one concise Twitter post here that you guys can also screenshot if you wish. Now, he named Filecoin.vet EOS ICP, and 𝗏𝗍, all as tokens he's watching that are heavily Chinese influence, and also BNB and ETH as well for various reasons, one of which is the fact that Vitalik has had multiple Chinese girlfriends. He also said Justin Sun would probably pivot to being Chinese, but he's already Chinese, and he's also keeping this list updated with new coins. So I recommend adding these to your trading view as well. Most of them are already in my original post, but you can add some like Internet Computer and 𝗏𝗍 and EOS and ICP, because even though maybe they're not born on the Chinese mainland, they're on these lists because they either have Chinese backers or have garnered interest of the Asian community in recent times. If you want to trade any of these Chinese coins, you can do so using the link in the description on BitGet. BitGet has many of these tokens listed, and we're also running a giveaway right now. So if you sign up for a new account, you not only get an $8,000 sign up bonus, you also get a chance to win a Rolex, which we are currently giving away. And every single trade equals 1 entry. So if you do 100 trades, that's 100 more entries compared to someone that only does 1 trade, for example. So if you want a chance to win that Rolex, sign up for a new BitGet account using the link in the description. We also have a link to Bybit as well. Bybit does have many of these coins, and we're also conducting a Rolex giveaway on Bybit for a blue and gold Submariner, which is currently valued at around $25,000 US. If you're watching this video a little bit later because the giveaway does end at the end of February, then that's okay. We still have a $30,000 sign up bonus on Bybit. If you want to trade any of these tokens on a DEX and they're not on a centralized exchange, then you may be able to find them on KyberSwap, which is a DEX aggregator. Just note, a lot of these Chinese coins are only on centralized exchanges, but if you can't find them, then you can have a look on KyberSwap, or if you just want to trade any other asset, it'll automatically find you the best possible trade route to be able to swap an asset for the best fees. It's a DEX aggregator, which means it'll aggregate the best possible price for you, and you can use a variety of networks like Ethereum, BNB, Avalanche, Arbitrum, Solana, Phantom, Polygon, and more. So you can use KyberSwap for that. And of course, if you use the DEX, I recommend using a NordVPN to keep your crypto safe, keep your IP safe. Whenever I'm using crypto, I always make sure to use a VPN to keep myself secure. And we do have a NordVPN link in the description that if you sign up, you can get a 59% discount to a subscription. So if you don't have one yet, and I know most of you do, of course, it's highly, highly advisable that whenever you trade, you do use a VPN to keep your assets safe. Now, I have a trick that I want to share with you that can help you find Chinese coin alpha. And this is actually utilizing the power of Twitter lists in the Chinese language. Now, luckily, Twitter has a built-in Google Translate function, which allows you to translate tweets, because for the non-Mandarin speakers out there, it can be quite difficult to understand, but there is a lot of uncovered alpha in the Chinese community. And I think now is a very opportune time to start making your list of Chinese alpha accounts so you can stay up to date with this market. So I'm going to give you a quick tutorial on how you can do this. So essentially what you can do is go onto the Twitter website, click on the 3 dots, or on your phone, it will be in the left-hand column, click on lists, then click on new list, and this will allow you to create a new Twitter list, which is a custom list of people you're following in a specific niche. This will mean the Chinese alpha won't just be lost amongst your normal feed, it will actually be in one place where you can have a feed dedicated just to Chinese alpha. So you want to type in Chinese alpha, you can write a description, I'll just put in Chinese alpha for now, then click next, and then you can start searching people to add to your list. So go through the list that I just shared with you, add some of these users, for example, Noodle of Binance. We can go through and add Diamond Hands. And you can literally just go on your computer here and copy them in super quickly and add them all to your alpha list to make sure you have a list of dedicated Chinese accounts. Now, following the smartest Chinese Twitter accounts is gonna give you a leg up on the competition to stay ahead of all the Chinese alpha. So I recommend you go in and you make a really solid list using some of the people that I've suggested. And I also have another list, which I suggest that you pay attention to. And this is from a creator called Chinese Alpha that has outlined some of their favorite Chinese accounts as well. Now, luckily, there is a translate tweet button on Twitter. So on the phone app or the desktop app, you can click on translate tweet, and then you will get a translation from Google. Look, sometimes it's a little inaccurate, but you will genuinely get the gist of it. And it's actually quite funny because since I followed some of these guys over the last few days, my feed has been inundated with Chinese accounts. So it's actually starting to become pertinent that maybe I learn the Mandarin language so I can understand this alpha at face value. But the translate function does make things a little bit easier. Now, I want to talk about one coin that's running running off the back of the Chinese narrative. Of course, you now have my watch list of Chinese coins. You have Andrew Kang's watch list of Chinese coins. And now you're following all the strongest Chinese accounts to make sure you stay up to date with alpha. But I think Filecoin is one that I wanted to mention today because it's a very interesting example of what a combination of narratives can do in terms of price performance. It's interesting because Filecoin isn't of essence a Chinese project, but due to a significant amount of investment from Chinese firms and inflow, Filecoin has seen itself become one of the leaders of this Chinese narrative. And Andrew Kang says it has a good chance to be the XRP/ADA of this echo bubble. They've got a conference on February 25th, and then smart contracts are launching on March 23, doubling down on winners. So look, I wouldn't necessarily ape into Filecoin right now as it significantly had a run up in price, but I think it's interesting to note that when you get a coin that has Chinese backing and you pair it with and a strong line of roadmaps with a major conference or an announcement, that is a match made in heaven in terms of positive price performance. So you can reflect this strategy when you're looking forward in the future to create a framework for how you invest in protocols. So I would start looking for projects that are known and have backing in China, also have some recognition on the Western side, and also have a very strong roadmap. Those three factors could potentially be a major driver of positive price action, especially if this market holds up. So now is the time to really dig deep and start researching these narratives, and I hope this video has helped give you a much better idea of how to do so and the reasons behind why I believe this narrative is a thing in the first place. Just before I head off, I wanted to remind you that OKX is currently doing a $10,000 mystery box giveaway promotion, which means if you don't have an OKX account and you sign up to one using the link in the description, then you have a chance to open a mystery box valued at up to $10,000. So you may only get $5, you may get $10, but you may get $100, $1,000, or even $10,000 in that mystery box. All you need to do to qualify is click that link in the description, sign up to an OKX account, and deposit $50 worth of fiat or crypto, and then you can have a shot at opening the mystery box. Good luck. I hope one of you wins a big prize. Thank you everyone for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you extracted some alpha. Remember, I stream Wednesdays to Fridays at 7 p.m. EST, and until next time, I will see you in the next video. Have a lovely day. Peace out.